Deep in the ocean, an orca pod is on the hunt. But these aren't your average orcas. These guys are organized.
Marketing team, did you get those social media posts scheduled for the SEAL migration?
Aye, Captain. We even have an automated notification for all pod managers when they go live.
They use Monday.com to keep their teamwork sharp, their communication clear, and their goals in sight. Monday.com. For whatever you run, even orcas. Go to Monday.com to dive deeper.
Well, I don't see the point in waiting any longer. So let's bring her out. The star attraction, the one you came to see. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Miss Judy Gold.
Welcome to Kill Me Now. Our guest showed up. Mike Yard is here.
Why you had to say that?
Mike Yard is here. Mike Yard is here.
Giving people
here.
a bad impression of me.
He's here. He's here. Yeah. We were just talking about what we had for breakfast. Mike Yard. First of all, Mike Yard doesn't drink coffee.
No.
And didn't have breakfast. It's now 12:30 in the afternoon. Hennessy had an egg and sausage. She wanted sorry. Oh my God.
It's okay. I consider it.
Yeah. He wanted it on wheat bread, but the bitch, that's who I meant for she, put it on white bread, which we hate white bread. So then we find out that Mike Yard doesn't drink coffee, doesn't like coffee.
It's disgusting.
And doesn't like pasta. Who fucking doesn't like pasta?
Me.
Like, you ever in your whole life? Did your parents ever make it?
My mother used to make, spaghetti and meat sauce and all of that stuff and try to force me to eat it. But that was back in the day when you can force your kids to do stuff.
Yeah, you're not
Apparently
kidding.
they have, they have choices now, kids.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I used to be forced to eat that shit. Can I curse on your podcast? Because I curse a lot.
Hello. How the fuck
that's right.
would
You
I
just said a
ever
lot
be
of
able
fuck,
to
fuck,
do a
fuck.
podcast?
That's
yeah,
true.
go ahead.
You may be from the Virgin Islands. We say
Yeah.
fuck a lot down
Yeah.
there. I just realized that. But anyway, yeah, I you know what it is? It's the consistency of pasta. It doesn't feel good in my mouth, so I can't eat it.
Really?
Too mushy.
Yeah. It just feels weird. It feels like
But you like bread.
brains or something. Yeah, but pasta don't feel like bread
I
in
know.
your
I'm
mouth.
just saying. You know.
I do like bread, but yeah, it's the difference.
It's in the same
but I
family.
can eat baked macaroni like from a soul food restaurant. That I can eat.
Delicious.
I think because all the bad stuff masks the pasta
Right,
feel.
right.
So
The pasta feel.
yeah, I'm very
pasta
much into
is
texture.
is like brainy.
Yeah, it's
matter.
brainy.
Yeah.
For sure. Or
So-
worms or guts.
What about seafood?
Exactly.
Do you eat seafood?
Sparingly, like like I'm not a big fan of like lobster and crab.
Right,
I feel like it's way too much work for not enough
Right.
payoff.
That is true.
And it's a waste
And
of time.
all you
to
do
me.
is fucking dip it in butter.
But you get
You know?
such a little bit of meat.
I know. And it's like, oh my God, look what I got. It's really annoying.
They have really tricked us, the
I
lobster
know.
industry.
That's true.
Because we act like it's special. It's a pain in the ass.
Can I tell you the history of lobster?
Yes,
was,
Hennessy.
It was a peasant food, and once the railroad was developed, and people, the Iron Horse or whatever, people started traveling around. So these old peasants, people from villages, would take a whole bunch of lobsters and take them into rich countries where they'd never seen lobster before off the coast, and sold them as like the fanciest food in the world, even though they were just really sea cockroaches.
That's a damn.
And you know they're not-
bottom dwellers.
So
Yeah,
today-
that's why they're not kosher.
But
Did you
that's-
know that?
yeah.
Because they're bottom dwellers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're dirty.
Well, they...
They're like snakes.
Yeah, to this day, it's one of the greatest jokes in world history is how fancy lobsters are.
See, I
mean,
knew
they're
it.
so fucking
I knew it was a
gross.
setup.
It is.
It's just ridiculous.
What about like mussels, like
No,
that
that's
shit,
nasty
and
to me.
clams, and oysters? Like, it's like everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna get the oyster. You eat a fucking oyster, and it's like, hi, these are the Kumamotos, and these are the and they all, it's like, it's a fucking piece of slime with fucking horseradish and red shit on it.
I
and
don't
vinegar.
mess with it.
I mean, that's all it is. And people act like, oh, this is a wonderful oyster. No, it isn't. It tastes just like the other fucking slime
I
bucket.
don't even think people chew them.
Fancy food
Yeah.
is hype, man. Yeah, fancy restaurants don't even give you food. You leave there and you got to go to like
I
fucking
agree.
McDonald's or something. They don't feed you enough.
Right, I know. With the
So why
fucking-
am I here?
The tiny little fucking portions.
Why am I here just to see the furniture you picked out and the decor you chose? I don't
I know.
understand. It's like strip clubs to me.
Right.
Yes.
I don't make sense to me, strip clubs.
Really?
I don't understand why I'm paying this woman to show me her breasts. This makes no sense to me. It makes no sense.
And
It's
then
like it's breasts. You're no more special than any other
Right,
breast. So why am I paying you
Right,
to
right.
see yours?
Right.
I don't get it.
It's because
It's a waste of
people
money.
are not like you.
Well, I mean, I guess.
My son Henry went to a strip club.
What did he think?
He said, all his friends paid like all this money for a lap dance. He's like, I'm not fucking paying money for
That's
a lap
how I
dance.
feel.
He hasn't-
Why?
Like who the?
I get nothing out of
Why-
that.
Why is it better? Like I don't know.
You leave with bluer balls than you come in with.
You can't touch them.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're not interested in
Right,
you. So
right.
why am I here? They don't, and they can't make it obvious enough that they're not interested
Right.
in you.
It's true. I think some people like the role play or like the quote seediness feeling of it.
It's
I guess it's the
gross.
dirty part of it. They're just, I'm doing something naughty.
Right.
Yeah,
Fuck
well, I
that
could think
shit.
of other things rather than spending money
Yeah.
on some shit.
So-
and then
Well,
the
no.
drinks are like crazy expensive.
I mean, you guys are comics, so you're basically the
We're the whores
of
of-
the comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whores of the entertainment.
Yeah.
In your
Thanks.
dark,
Yeah, we're the lowest of the low.
nightclubs.
I don't know. They always come to us though.
Right.
When they need
When
help.
they need fucking help.
Yeah.
That's true.
Who, the
that is
strippers?
true.
No,
everyone.
everyone. All of y'all. All of y'all out there.
Yeah.
When you need to, when you're feeling shitty about
Yeah.
your life,
Yeah.
who do you come see?
That's
us.
right.
But then you treat us like shit.
Right.
We should stop
Like
making
we're
them
shit.
laugh.
I know.
Because apparently they can't make themselves laugh.
Right.
Oh, that's why we need you.
So treat us better.
Yeah, yeah, fuckface. All right, listen, we're here with Mike Yard, comedian extraordinaire. We're going to talk about his life and what pisses him off. But I love this guy. You're from
love you
Saint.
too, Judy.
You're from Saint Croix.
Saint Croix.
I know. I
Damn
did
it.
that on purpose. Do people say that?
People say, yeah. Sometimes people say a lot of crazy stuff.
I know.
Croix, Saint
yeah.
Croix.
So you're from Saint Croix,
That's
and you
how we
moved
say
here at 13,
13 years old. Yes.
which is not a good age to move.
No. I was not happy at all.
Real, like, were you? Everything was fine in Saint Croix.
For me, apparently, but apparently for my parents, it wasn't.
Right.
You know, they needed jobs and shit.
No.
That's what they said. That was their excuse.
Right. So
You know, I was good.
So, do you have any siblings?
I do, but I was the first one here.
Right.
My father brought me here first because I was the only. My brother was working. My second oldest brother was working. My oldest brother, you just don't involve him.
Right.
And then my my other siblings were too young, so
Right.
I was the one that I had no job at the time.
Right.
So they were like, "Yeah, this one can come up and learn the place, and then
Right.
when we get here, he'll be able to tell us what's what." And
Right.
so it was not cool. I had my first girlfriend that year.
Oh,
I was feeling myself. It
blows.
really did. It really sucked.
Did you ever go back and see the girlfriend?
No. It's fascinating. When I moved here, I didn't go back for 30 years because
No
shit got
fucking
crazy.
way.
Shit got crazy when we got here.
Wow.
My story is I should write a movie about it.
You should. So
it's
you
kind
got-
of insane.
So you get here. Everything's fine in St. Croix. You get here at 13 with your dad. You move to Brooklyn,
Brooklyn, yeah.
and
And
What is he-
East Flatbush, Brooklyn.
oh boy,
Yeah. Well, no, that's not even the half of it. That was nice compared to where we ended up. But
Where'd you end? Wait, so you went there with your dad, and then when other people came over, you moved to another area.
Well, what happened was my dad had a friend that he grew up with that
Right.
lived in Brooklyn and was like, "You can come and stay with me, and
Right.
then when you get on your feet, we'll hold you down till you
Right.
get on." But we didn't know what they really wanted was money. So when we
Ah.
got here, and then they realized we didn't have the kind of money that they thought we had. The whole hospitality thing changed up a little bit.
Right.
So these people ended up being not too friendly. But I was left here with them because my father had to go back home to, to get everything ready to move out,
move.
sell all the shit he needed to sell, and get the family's affairs in order to make the big move. So I was here for a few months by myself
yourself
with these
with the
psychos.
fucking assholes?
With the psychos, yo. That shit
That
was not cool.
sucks.
That shit was not cool.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, it was
Were
pretty
you in
bad.
school?
I was in school, yeah.
What school did you go to?
Wingate. I went
Hmm.
to George Wingate High School. It's like 7 schools now. Because
George
they break
Wingate
down
is?
schools, yeah. They've broken all the schools apart.
So, what did your father do for a job?
When he got in
In
Saint
Saint
Croix, he was a scientist.
Of
He worked
course, I
at-
was going to say he's a doctor, and then he comes here. And has
yeah,
to
and then
drive
he
the
comes
fucking
here
car.
and
Yeah.
he's a security guard at fucking the Gap. You know what I
No
mean?
way.
Yeah, well, that's what he ended up doing.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean,
People don't understand that. They don't get that, these people work their fucking asses off in their country, get degrees, and then come here, and it's like, sorry.
yeah.
And they know more about U.S. history and politics.
Oh,
than
then
any of
people who
us
fucking
do.
grow up here.
Yeah, American people that grow up here on the mainland, America, they really take for granted all the things. And then when you come here, like I'm American, like I was
Yeah,
born in
US
Saint Croix as U.S. Virgin
US
Islands,
Virgin
but my
Island,
parents
baby.
are from St. Lucia and Dominica, so they're like. Their education doesn't translate to U.S.
Right.
He would have to go back to school, like all the shit. And he worked. My father worked for Martin Marietta, which was a company that did stuff for like NASA, and they made aluminum was their big thing. My father worked in the lab where he worked on moon rocks and all this kind of
Wow.
stuff. And then he came here, and they're like, he can't use you
Was
for
he
whatever
depressed?
shitty job. Well, yeah, he ended up going through a lot.
Yeah. All right. So you're here. You're living with these fucking assholes for how long?
For a few months, for at least I don't know, maybe it was about 6-8 months.
That
That was
Weren't
the
you
most miserable time
devastated?
of my life. Yeah, it was. I wasn't
Like, and
devastated.
there was
I was
no
just like,
cell
I
phones
want to
and
get the
shit.
fuck out of here.
Right. And we didn't have cell phones or
Yeah.
internet, so it's
No.
not like you could fucking go, FaceTime your parents. or
No,
whatever.
I had to go to the corner to payphone.
Right.
To call
and be
them.
like, I miss you.
Yeah.
Oh.
I want to go home. I want to go.
Aw.
Yeah. it was
Did
a
you
lot.
do well in school?
Absolutely. I love school. School
Yeah.
was always like cool for me.
So
I liked learning.
when your parents came back, okay, you moved to like a shitty part of Brooklyn.
Well, no. What happened was it got to the point where they were like, "You got to come and get your kid. You got to come and get your
Right.
kid." Like my father wasn't finished,
Right.
taking care of business, and so he had to come back up. And then we went. We ended up being like homeless for a while because we didn't really, we didn't really have it. We were
Right.
relying on these people, right? So then.
So they'd rather see you homeless than.
Well, they didn't give a shit.
Right.
I mean, listen,
Okay.
there's some fucked up people out there.
You're
know.
not kidding.
I tell you what, that taught me lessons about people, though. Real quick, New York lessons,
right away.
Right.
which I probably,
Wouldn't have learned otherwise.
Yeah.
So where did you live when you were homeless?
It's so funny. This is hilarious. So my father had another friend who lived like upstate New York, but he ran a business out of. He was like a super for a building in Manhattan, and he ran his business out of the basement of that building.
What was his business?
A cleaning business.
Oh,
So he
okay.
had like all kinds of vacuums and all
Right.
kinds of like high, really heavy duty shit.
Yeah.
And so we were allowed to sleep in his business. So we slept on the couch, me and my brother, in the basement. And then to use the bathroom, we had to go upstairs
No way.
to this. The only one that we could open, we had to jimmy it open because the officers lock their bathrooms when
Right.
they leave. They lock everything.
Right.
So one we could jimmy open was in this gay porn studio.
That's
Where
awesome.
they would shoot gay, it was a gay magazine.
Right.
So every time we went to the bathroom, it was all like big, like dudes with dicks out on the wall.
That's hilarious.
Like, you gotta take a shit. So I'm fucking flipping through gay magazines while I'm
Right.
taking a shit.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
this
hilarious.
is insane.
That's
If my friends can
hilarious.
see me now. Yeah.
So, and you're still doing great in school, right? You're
Oh
still
yeah, I always loved
focused.
school. Yeah.
That's so awesome.
School was a non-issue for me. It was
Right.
easy. School was
Right.
easy for me because I like learning. I'm,
Right.
I'm an inquisitive dude. So I never understood why people didn't like school. Not that I'm trying to come off like I'm perfect. I just happen to like school.
Right. Well,
you know what I
it's
mean?
not-
I did too.
Yeah, some people do.
I liked it. I mean, I hated everyone there.
I cut
but
school
I
one
liked-
time when I was in high school. I cut class one time to hang out with my friends,
Did
and
you
I was
get in
like, "This
trouble?
is so fucking stupid." No, I
Right.
didn't get in trouble, but I was just like sitting out.
It's like
We were
boring.
outside of the school. We were at the school, but outside.
Right.
It was probably more fun to cut school in Saint Croix because you probably go to like a river.
Well, even in
Yeah.
St. Croix, I just always liked school. I never understood why anybody wouldn't like school. It's like you get to learn shit.
Right.
I agree.
Why wouldn't you want to learn?
Who the fuck knows? Ask every fucking person in this country right now. Look who the fucking
I mean, it's
president
kind of insane. This anti-intellectual
I know.
intellectualism in this country is
It's
really
ridiculous.
insane. I don't understand. Why do you want dumb people to be in
is.
charge?
Right. I know.
It makes
Hello?
no fucking sense if
I
you just
know.
look at it. If you take all the noise out of it, all the red and the blue and all that dumb
Right.
shit, at least just be smart.
Right.
That's for me.
And
That's
it's
what I
easy.
want.
It's easy. It's easy. It doesn't take a lot of effort.
man.
Fucking bullshit. Okay. So what high school did you go to? That
At
same-
Wingate. Yeah, we went to
Wingate.
Wingate,
All right.
yeah.
So does your mother ever come over?
Well, my mother had to go because we didn't have a place to stay here.
Right.
Everybody couldn't stay in that basement, so my
Right, in
mother
the
had
gay
to
porn
go
basement, yeah.
exactly. So my mother had to go to her.
Hey, Mike, you need to use the bathroom. Hey, what's
Yeah, that
up?
shit was
Hey,
insane,
baby.
man. I was like, this is so weird.
And were you all in one room? Like
Me and my brothers.
Yeah.
It was me, my two brothers, and my
Wow.
father. And my mother and my sister went to Houston to stay with her sister because she had like a nice house. We didn't want my sister going through what we had to go
Right,
through
right,
to
right.
really, but we knew we would get it together.
Right.
It's
So
only a
when
matter of
did
time.
did the family ever unite?
Yeah. Eventually, we got an apartment in East New York in
Right.
Brooklyn, and then my mother came, and then we were together.
Now, in high school, were you popular? Like, were you involved in shit?
No, I
You
didn't.
were just
I got out of high school in 2.5 years. I didn't want to be there.
2.5 years?
Yeah.
You graduated high school in
Yeah.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Did you have to take like correspondence courses? And
I had to take night school, summer school. I had to take. I never had a lunch in high school. I took 8 straight classes. And I got a work credit. I did. My guidance counselor really hooked me up because I went in and I told her like I don't want to be here. You know,
Right.
I said, but I'm not dropping out of school. So
Right.
how do I get out of here as quickly as possible? And
So
she
there
put
were-
together a program for me to get the fuck out.
That's great. I mean,
And I
but
did
it
it.
was
I got
there
out.
was none of the social shit for you. None
In
of
high
that-
school, no,
yeah.
I didn't. I had like a few friends in my high
Right.
school. Coming here really we kind of galvanized around each other, me and my family. So there wasn't really room for a lot of people to come in because we were just trying to figure out how the fuck we were going
Right.
to survive.
How you
So I got
yeah.
time for you and your friendships and all
Right.
this shit. We try to, and now we live in the worst neighborhood in America. We're from the Virgin Islands, so
Right.
we're not built for this shit. We don't know
Right.
how to maneuver in this world.
Right.
So we got to learn. You know what I mean? So it was just us. It was me and my brothers, my father, my sister, and my mother.
The Education of Mike Young. That's your movie.
Yeah,
I
right?
love it. Okay, so you then go to Hunter College, which is a great
Yes,
school.
for
How
like
old
a
were
year.
you? When
Well, I didn't go to I didn't go to Hunter immediately. No, yeah, I went to Hunter right after high school. Yeah, I was 17, going on 18,
right.
and I went to Hunter for 2 years, and then I was like, yeah, there's nothing here for me. I don't know what I'm doing here.
And you were
like,
studying computer programming.
Yeah, and I was a little knucklehead in the streets at the time too. So I was getting a lot of money doing bad shit. So at that time, college wasn't that interesting. Like in learning, kind of took a backseat
Right.
to finally having money in your pocket. You know.
So,
So,
do
but
you
then
wanna-
I got locked up.
okay.
and
no,
that
no,
was
no.
it.
We need to go back. What was the? Can you elaborate on the bad shit?
Well, I was hustling. Crack was
Yeah.
there was a crack epidemic, and I
Did you
participated in
Did
it.
you partake or
No,
did,
I don't do. I only smoke weed. I can't. Cocaine. I don't get why people
Right.
do cocaine. If you see cocaine when it comes here, the way it's shipped,
Right.
if you open up a brick, once you smell it, you should never want to do it. It smells like gasoline.
Ugh.
So I don't. So once I
And you're gonna
realized
put
that's
that
how it
shit
came, I
in your
could never
body,
do
yeah,
cocaine.
yeah.
But people wanted it, so and
Right.
they were, and people were coming to get it. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
when you're poor,
Now, did your parents? Of course. Did your parents?
sometimes you do what you got to do.
Absolutely.
Did your parents know you were
Oh
doing that?
yeah, I mean they know. My parents are very smart people. They knew.
Were they like Michael? You have. How did they talk?
You're funny.
Michael.
My mother's like sing-songy when she's talking. Why are you
Michael.
selling drugs? Don't sell the drugs. That's how my mother sounds. She's from Dominica, so there's a little French. in there.
Dominica.
Not Dominican Republic.
I know.
Dominica.
So did they? Did you help them out with financially?
Oh yeah, I mean we
So
we
it was
took care
like
of each other. That's
they were
what we
torn
did. Yeah.
because it's like I don't want Michael doing that. But
Yeah, but
all right.
But we got to eat. No, listen, my parents didn't know exactly what we were doing because
Right.
we wouldn't disrespect them like that.
Right.
But they knew that we weren't. They knew that if my brother showed up with a Because my my brother's very flashy dude. So
Right.
my oldest brother would show up with a fucking mink
Oh
hoodie.
God, I fucking love that.
And my mother's like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
But, we would never, she knew we had guns in the house because we had to let her know that. We didn't
Right.
want her. But she knew where we were living.
Right.
Why we had, literally, I was living, and I asked my brother this the other day, right? I was like, am I tripping or was it really that bad?
Right.
And my little brother was like, nah, it was really that bad.
What does he do?
It was like shootouts every night
No
in East
way.
New York at that time. In the 80s, every night there were shootouts.
Fucking
Every
awful.
single fucking night. It was amazing. It was
Your
amazing.
neighborhood in the 80s is like what every single foreigner or person who's never been to New York is afraid
Right,
of.
bro.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
That is the iconic
It's Chicago
image.
now.
Yeah.
Right now it's Chicago.
So what do your brothers do now?
Well, my oldest brother, he's on disability because he got sick. But my second oldest brother is a what is he, like a foreman, like a supervisor
Right.
at a company that like works for Spectrum or for
Right,
Comcast.
right,
Like
right.
they're the ones that go install the.
Right.
He's like an outside independent contractor, so he's doing pretty well. He has his own spot and everything.
So
owns his
everyone
own
is
place.
like,
Everybody's doing the thing, my sister. Everybody's working now.
All right.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with Auto Quote Explorer to compare rates from multiple car insurance companies all at once. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
you got locked up. So how did that happen? Let's hear this story. I can't wait.
That's funny. Why am I telling Judy Gold this?
Oh my
fucking
God,
story?
it's
This
so
is so
great.
crazy. What happened was
Why am I telling Judy Gold?
I had a problem. I had a problem with another dude that was in the game,
Right.
and so I felt disrespected.
Right.
And so, you can't just let people. When you're in the game, you can't just let people do what you. Even if you're not comfortable with it, because
Right.
I was never comfortable with violence at all. I just didn't get how people were okay with just hurting somebody.
Right.
But sometimes, if you want to be in the world, and the money was to that point where, yeah, you know what, I'll
Right.
beat somebody in the head for this money. Yeah.
Right.
At this point in my life where I'm at right now,
Right.
I'm living in a building they call Vietnam. Yeah, I'll punch you in the face for this fucking
Right.
$5,000. Absolutely. So he disrespected me, and so I had to regulate, because if not, I would have been a victim.
Right.
So I went, and instead of beating him up and shit like that, I just took everything he had. And so basically I just robbed him, took his
Right.
drugs, took his money, took whatever weapons they had, and
Right.
jumped in the car.
Run your
And
pockets.
God is
Were you
real, yo.
scared?
I'm not a Christian. I'm not
Right.
religious by any way, shape, or form. But nobody can tell me God ain't real.
Right.
God exists in whatever way you want him to exist. That power exists, man. Because that night saved my life. Because if I would have got away with that, I would have been wild. If I would have been able to rob
Right.
somebody and just pull a gun out and just take their shit and feel that power and no
Right.
consequences, I would have been done, yo.
Right.
I would have just been robbed. I'd be like, why
Right.
am I even working? I'm just
Right,
taking
right.
shit from people now.
Right.
So God stepped in and
Had
was like,
you-
nah, that's not what I have planned for you.
So how did you get caught?
Well, as soon as we jumped in the car, it was me and my brothers, like I told you. The cops was just right on our ass. He
Right.
called the cops, that son of a bitch.
Whoa, that bastard.
Okay, so
and
the
told them
cops-
that there were guys with guns and drugs in the car. Not that they were his guns and drugs.
Right.
But he told them that. I'm sure
So
he
was
did.
it just you and your brother?
Me and my two brothers, yeah.
So they pulled you over, and were
So
you
first
like,
of all, no. So we get in a chase. I get in a chase.
No
Not
way.
really a chase, but we kind of like didn't pull over. We were just
Right.
going because what I said to my brother was just keep going. Once we get by the highway, it's going to be a lot of bush, so I can at least throw the guns. I didn't want to
Right.
get caught with guns and drugs because at that time that was like that's when they came out with the super predator shit. No,
Right,
that
right.
was before that. But at that time, they were talking when they caught people with guns and drugs. That was like
That
kingpin
was
charge,
it.
and you were going to jail for
Forever.
sure.
Forever,
Yeah, they were giving
though.
you like
Yeah.
3 to life. That was those
Yeah.
Rockefeller laws
Yes,
and all. They were
Rockefeller
killing you
laws,
with that
yeah.
shit, right? So I was like, let me just throw the guns out the car. So once we pull over, they won't find guns in the car. There's nothing but bush. So my
Right.
brother turns a corner, gets by the service road for the highway, And I threw the gun, and I swear to God, I'm not lying to you. God is fucking powerful. The gun hits a pole. I don't know where this pole came from.
Fuck.
It was all bush, and all of a sudden a pole, bing, and flies right into the street. So the cop just sees the gun
my
fall
God.
into the street. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
And then we had another gun, so I said, keep going. And then I threw the other gun. I wanted to give some distance.
Right.
And it hit
I
a
threw
cop.
the other gun and it hit a fence. A big ass
No fucking way.
It hit a fence and just landed on the sidewalk. A fucking house popped up on the middle of the fucking service road, okay, for the highway, and it hit a fence and just fell. I don't know if it was a house or some kind of establishment, but it hit a fence and fell right on the sidewalk. So they just got out their cars and picked up the guns and.
We're like,
So then I was
"Hi,
like, I
did
hope
you
they don't
lose
find the
these?
drugs.
Did they do something assholey like that?
No, they just had us out
did
of the
you forget
gun
these?
on the ground.
So you dropped something.
You dropped something.
Yeah, I hate when they do that. Hi, it seems like you dropped something. Oh, fuck you. All right.
Yeah,
So
no,
you
they
get
weren't
out.
smart asses. They were just like, "Why are you running?"
So you get out.
So we pull over and they take us out the cars and they have us on the ground and
what's
and we're
going
just
through your
hoping they don't
mind?
find the drugs.
What's going through your mind?
Now we're just hoping they don't find the drugs.
After
Like,
That's
all
all
right.
we're hoping.
All right. As a mother, I just want to know: were you thinking, "Oh my God,"
About my mom?
Yeah.
No.
or you not?
Not
like,
at that point.
Okay, go ahead.
No, at that point, I was trying to figure out, truthfully, I was trying to figure out how much time I could do without losing my mind.
Right.
I was preparing myself because, I had learned to prepare for the worst.
Right.
That's what,
Right.
sometimes life will teach you that. But anyway.
So
I'm just like hoping they don't find the drugs. And then they didn't, right? So we're like there and they close the car up and they go in and they're getting ready to pick us up off the ground and take us in. And then one cop was just like, nah, this is not just it. These dudes gotta have something. Fuck. My brother's car was tinted and shit. So they were like,
this is
nah.
the Mink brother.
No, this was the second one. Which that was the only flashy thing he had, which was
Right.
weird. Like, and that's the shit that really made this cop go,
Right.
they got something. They got something. He went back in the car, yo.
Yeah.
And this fucking guy went, and it was in the speaker. We had it in the speaker. Fuck. And he found that shit, yo.
No fucking way.
No.
What was it? Coke.
Yeah, no, it was crack. This dude had just brought his package out, so we took the
Right.
package.
So then you get in the car
Uh-huh.
and you go to the station. Where
Well,
do you
yeah,
go?
they took us down to the station. Cops are hilarious, though. They play those games that you see on TV. They really do.
Like-
Because they came in and told me that my brother told them that everything was mine. I was like, yeah, no, my brother didn't do that. Not
Right.
at all. If you told me somebody else said that, then I
Right.
might believe you, but my brother didn't tell you that. Get the fuck out of here.
And
I
what-
said, do your job. That's what my brother told me because he had been arrested before. He
Right.
said, just don't tell them nothing.
Right.
Yep.
They're the detectives. They should find out.
That's right.
So you get one phone call.
Yeah.
Who do you call?
I don't remember if I even used my phone call, to tell you the truth. Because who was I going to call? My mom, she couldn't come get me. My father was all fucked up. So it was just us. No, I think I did call my girlfriend at the time. Yeah.
What'd you
It was
say?
my son's mother that we got locked up. she knew what I was doing.
Right.
So, yeah, she was like, fuck. So,
Okay. So how long do you end up in the can?
I did a year.
A fucking year?
Yeah.
And your brothers?
Yeah, we all did a year. Well,
Were
my
you
oldest
together?
brother ended up going for longer because he had other shit going on.
Oh. Did you go? Did you see each other, or were you all in the same jail?
No, you can't be together like that. Be brothers. They can't do that.
And what was it like?
What, in jail?
Yeah, like what is it like? Like you wake up.
I didn't like it. I'll tell you that. You know what? It was too much control over my life, and I'm not a
Right.
fan of that.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't care about, I knew I was with criminals, so you
Right.
act accordingly when you around people like that. So, I know to trust people, but for so much.
Right.
I met dudes that were from my area in Brooklyn, and they seemed to think that because, that was a bonding thing. So we... they feel
So
like
you
you
had
should
your
take care of each
friends.
other because they weren't necessarily my friends, but they were people that were from my same neighborhood that that we had that in common. So we would kind of look
Right.
out for each other.
Now, is it true, like about the soap in the shower?
No.
Okay.
No, there's enough gay dudes in there. You don't have
Right.
to rape people. I don't know what the fuck. If somebody gets raped in jail, it's where they're trying to control you. So there's a purpose behind it.
Right.
It's not about sex. It's about them letting you know where you stand.
Like I'm your boss.
Exactly. But it's enough dudes in there willing to fuck.
Right. And then what about the like pedophiles? Do they really get treated
Yeah, people don't really mess with them. You don't really, but it's hard for you to know.
Right.
If you do find out, they will move them because people refuse to live with them.
Right.
You'll have
fucking
hardened.
love that.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. The hardened criminals,
Yeah.
the people who've been like put away for murder or whatever. It's like as soon as
They
there's a
won't
pedophile
even
in their
fucking
midst,
put
they're
up
like,
with those
nope.
motherfuckers.
No, I was locked
Nope.
up with a dude that was there for rape, and they had to move him.
Whoa.
So
Because
you-
once they found out, people was like, yo, he can't stay in this house, dude. Because they got sisters and mothers. And you're talking about dudes that are just drug dealers. Like, they're
Right.
predators, but they don't rape. You know,
Right.
they don't rape.
They're
Like,
not
they look
violent.
at that
They
as
don't realize at least.
Yeah.
that they,
Well, she said they don't realize at least. No, these are dudes that got like brothers, like sisters, and they don't,
Yeah.
they just don't take too kindly to that. 'Cause that's the lowest level of crime, rape or pedophilia. Yeah, people don't really fuck. If you want to respect in jail, tell them you're
Yeah.
in there for armed robbery.
Oh,
That's what I
good.
learned.
Okay. Well, in your cell,
Hmm.
you have you have to take a shit in front of your.
No, I didn't have any. When I was in a cell, I wasn't in. It's not like you think.
I know. I'm fascinated. It's
No,
like
jail is very community. There's like
It is?
fucking, yeah, most jails are like dorms. So it's a bunch of people in the room, and you have a shitload of bathrooms.
which
and
prison were you in? Which prison were you in?
I went to Orleans, upstate, but most of my time was in Nassau County.
So that's got to be different than like some podunk jail in the middle of America.
Of course, I think there's like a cell and you have a roommate and there's a
No, there
fucking
are jail.
toilet.
I was in one
Yeah.
of those buildings for a while. That's what you call a max joint. When I
Right.
first got locked up, I went to Elmira when I first got sentenced.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
Elmira, but then I aged out of there real quick, so I
Right.
wasn't there long.
Did you like?
They couldn't really kiss
Was your
us at
mother like,
juvenile jail.
Mike? I can't believe you did. Like,
Nah, my mom just did what they had to do. I mean,
Wow.
they did what they had
Everyone
to
was
do.
prepared. It sounded
So-
like for anything.
all right.
Well, it's just you just got to do what you got to do.
Right,
you can't
yeah.
stop and cry and
Right.
go into. I mean, I'm sure they were depressed and they were hurt,
Right.
and I'm pretty sure that it was
I mean,
they
it's
broke them
three-
up. But
right.
what are we gonna let things get worse?
Right.
We're already fucked up.
So, what do you learn while you're in there? Like, what do you?
That I can't do jail.
Right.
That's the most important
That
thing.
you're
I
never
learned.
gonna fucking go back
I'm
there
not
again.
going back ever. No, unless it's for like somebody try to hurt my family and I
Right.
had to do something to them. But I would never. No,
So-
that's not happening.
Do you read? What do you do? Like, what do you do during
Work
the day?
out a lot. I made sure I got big.
Right.
There's some big dudes in there,
Yeah.
yo.
How'd you do that
There's some
without
big
pasta?
dudes in there, and
Right.
they predators, man. A lot of rice, a lot of bread.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So once
Pasta.
I got in there, I was skinny too. I was like, oh shit. I was like doing
Right.
push-ups and shit. I was like, yeah. I was walking down when I first went to. I think it was Mineola. Nassau County. They have the jail, the county jail there. And I was walking up the hallway. One of the guards was leading me, and I seen this dude in an orange jumpsuit walking.
Right.
And this motherfucker just got bigger.
Oh,
Oh, God.
Bigger. And I was like, oh, shit.
Fuck.
I got to live with dudes like this. Fuck. This dude was huge. I was like, fuck. I got to get some weight on me, man.
How did you know how long you were going to be in there when you
No,
went?
not there, no, because you go into court,
Right.
Did you have a lawyer
Well, no, I had a what
assigned,
do you call it?
like a
not
district-
a public defender. What I had was an outside lawyer that I had to pay,
Right.
but the government kind of subsidized
Right.
what I could pay. So they were like, they worked with the courts, but not necessarily as a legal aid. They're not
Right.
legal aid. I didn't have a
Right.
legal aid lawyer. I had a private lawyer that worked cases for the court.
Do you remember your lawyer's name?
Braffman. Of course, I remember. That was a
Okay.
that was a huge turning point in my
Right.
life. I remember my lawyer's name,
Like
and he was like, "Yeah, it's not-
What?
Are you going to explain
What's
the
the
juvenile?
bell
Oh,
for?
the bell's anything Jewish. Anything-
ah, yeah,
So, yeah.
he was a little feisty Jewish kid.
So, like, all right, you're in there. You're there for a fucking year. You wake up. Like, do you do shit? Like, don't you have?
When I'm in jail,
Yeah,
no,
like,
I
what do you
just
do
try
all
to
day?
not get killed and try to, You know, I mean, of course you read or you watch television
Right.
and, you know, it's basically you develop a routine. I would
Right.
work out. I would watch TV.
Like when you woke up in jail in the morning, were you like, "Oh my God, I can't fucking believe"?
No,
like,
when you wake up, you
dream-
can wake up for breakfast. They wake you up for breakfast.
Right, but when you opened your eyes, were you like, "Oh my God, I can't"? Like, did you ever wake up because you were dreaming and were like, "Oh my God"?
Well, yeah, that happened
Yeah.
a lot where you wake up and you're like, oh, fuck, I'm
fuck.
still in jail.
Yeah, yeah.
You thought that dream was so
Right.
good. Like, oh, I'm free. I'm doing,
Right.
oh, shit, I'm going to the movies.
Okay, so you get out, right? What happens the day you get out?
The day I get out, I go home. I go to my
Did-
mom comes and picks me up, and I go home to my girlfriend and get some nookie. Long overdue.
What was your girlfriend's name?
That's my son's mother,
Yeah.
Tammy. Yeah,
Tammy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And what's
maybe
your
that's the
son's
night
name?
We made that baby. No,
Yeah, probably.
Michael.
Ah,
Is there
well,
another
of
name?
course. Oh yeah, that's true. This week's episode of It's Judy Show with Judy Gold is sponsored by BetterHelp. And if you know me, which I think you do because you're listening to my podcast right now, you know that I am a big advocate for therapy. I think it benefits everyone. I think there's so many people who need it, who don't partake. It is so important for your emotional health and well-being. Therapy is fantastic. It is in every stretch of the imagination. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, please do it. But please give BetterHelp a try. It is entirely online. It's designed to be convenient. It's flexible. It suits your schedule. You fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. I have switched therapists in my life. I've had many, many therapists, and you know, sometimes it's not a great fit for you, but don't give up. Therapy is beneficial. You can learn about yourself, you can process, and just be emotionally healthy. I'm telling you, do it. BetterHelp is great because, you know, when I used to schlep to my therapist's office, it was so annoying. You have to do it, and you sit there and you wait, and then I'm telling you, doing it online is fantastic. And BetterHelp is amazing. I know a lot of people who've used it. So if you're thinking about therapy, go to BetterHelp.com. Let the gratitude flow. This is Gratitude Month, people. So you need to let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/JudyGold, JudyGold, today, and you will get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/JudyGold. You're welcome. All right, so then you're out. You got to start it all over.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but I was determined not to go back to jail. So then I started looking for work. But, you know, it's so funny. Like people say, do your time, right? But I guess you just can't help yourself, you know. Once people hear that you were locked up, that changes everything in a lot of people's minds because, you know, people don't believe in second chances. They say they do, but they want you to create your own second chance and then they'll applaud you for it.
Right.
But most people don't believe in second chances. Once you make a mistake, they hold that shit against you.
Forever.
Forever.
Right.
Most people do that.
And in show business, forever.
Forever. Yeah.
And if you're black.
Yeah, and well, it's
forget it.
easy to
Yeah.
fucking hold shit against black people
Yeah.
forever. I mean, that's you know, it's like our pastime
So
in this fucking country.
I think they hate the Jews too. So
Yeah, they really
they
do.
really
It's
fucking hate
surprisingly
us.
like, you know, like I really thought that we were the most hated.
No.
And then I started researching hate groups. Wow.
I know it's awful.
Yo, I don't know what y'all did, man.
I don't either.
but
I guess
they
it's because we
fucking hate Jews,
I
yo.
know. It's because we survived. They've tried to kill
yeah.
us. You know.
It seems like a jealousy thing too.
But it's just that you know
I
what?
think
We're
it's like-
not going anywhere.
It's like what, and maybe I'll have a lot of black people get mad at me for this, but when I came here, what American blacks do to West Indian blacks, it's
Yeah.
like you come here as a West Indian, and most of the West Indies is third world countries, right?
Right.
So when you come here and you see the opportunities that are in front of you, you
Right.
fucking go for it,
Right.
right? Because this is your dream. This is why
Right.
you struggled to get here, right?
Right.
And so you go for it, and a lot of them have been here, and they don't take advantage of those opportunities, but then they hate you for taking advantage of it.
Right.
It's fucking weird. So it's like, Yeah, you have, as a white person, you have all the opportunities in the world. You sit and you do nothing. Because
Right.
it's mostly poor white people that
Right.
hate that much. And then you get mad at Jews for coming and fucking putting in the work.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
That-
Nigerians are
Sounds very human.
very, and Ethiopians are
Hmm.
very. They are really, building communities, and they're amazing. They're
Yeah.
coming over here and fucking taking advantage.
Yeah.
All right. So so you're done. You're at Tammy's. You're fucking. Where do you get a job?
I gave her the business, too.
Yeah, you
Oh, no, what happened was I almost ended up getting locked up again.
Right.
And then...
What? How?
Well, I'll tell you.
Michael.
Because when you can't get work and you still need
Yeah.
money, you got to get money, right?
So, but
And now nobody wants to hire you because
Right.
you're trying not to lie. You're trying to, because they say be honest, right?
Right.
So you're trying not to lie, and you're, telling everybody, yeah, I've locked
Right.
up and exactly what I'm locked up for, and then you don't get called back. So,
Right.
but in the meantime, I'm still hungry. So you expect me to starve just because you
Right.
don't want to give me a second chance? No,
Right.
I'm gonna give me some money now. So
almost seems
I
engineered.
go give me some money, exactly. But see, I figured it out. And so when they chased me. What happened was, I was doing it again, and then.
But you knew where the bushes were this time.
No, well, no. What happened was something just hit
and
me, and I
are
was
your
like,
brothers still in jail at
no,
this point?
no,
Okay.
no. Something just hit me, and I was like, no. My brother had already, he had got a job with a friend of his, had
Right.
hooked him up with a job, and so my brother was working. I couldn't get a job, so I started to get involved again, and then. I was just like, nah, I can't do this. I'm just setting myself up
Right.
for the same shit. I'm not going back to jail. I'm not doing
Right.
that. That's not going to be my life story.
Right.
I'm not. That's not going to be it. So,
Right.
so I had a pistol this guy gave me, and so I was going to go give it back to him
Right.
and tell him, listen, I'm done.
Right.
I'm out the game, whatever. And fucking going to give this guy his gun back, the cops just fucking pull me over. I'm walking. And they just pull me over. Whoop, whoop. That
yeah, I
nasty
know.
shit they do, that
Yeah.
condescending
Yeah.
fucking
Where they only do a little bit
dirt
of the
bags. Yeah. That shit is such a
I
condescending
know.
thing to do.
Like, hey, fuckface.
yeah, like, hey,
yeah.
the power's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like a cat call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's disgusting. They
Yeah.
don't, they think it's cute. So I stop, so I see them, and I'm like, what's up? They're like, come here for a second. I'm like, yeah, I'll be right there. Fucking took off.
No. Oh,
I had
God.
a pistol on me. I'm not walking up to the fucking
Right.
cops.
No
But
shit.
can
I
they pull
took
you
off.
over for nothing?
Yes.
Well,
What
yeah,
world do you live in,
I
Judy?
know. I'm just saying.
In my world, yes,
Yeah,
that's what
I
they
know.
do,
All right, I
okay?
know,
I
but
know
this
white
is
people
not-
don't want to hear it. I know you think that we keep making it up, but that's
I
the
know.
truth.
Not
They
me.
pull us over for no fucking reason.
No.
That's what they did. They had no cause to pull me over.
It
They
fucking
just
pisses
fucking
me
wanted to
off.
stop me,
Yeah.
so they stopped me. And I ran because I was
Right.
dirty. So and then, and this is how I know God is good, and God is telling me, listen, this is not what I have planned for you, so stop it. And that's
Right.
when I stopped it. I was running from the cop. I took the gun out, and I'm surprised they didn't shoot me when I
Right.
went to my waist, but I took the gun out, and I was going to throw it and just keep running and give me some distance.
Right.
So, and it was nighttime, so I'm running, and I cut through this lot, and I fucking trip, and the gun goes flying out
Are
of
you
my
way.
hand.
kidding me?
And the gun goes flying out of my head. I get up,
Fuck
I fucking
out.
I'm gone. So they chase me. Then they got me. I smoked cigarettes, so it was just like kicked in.
Right.
It's hilarious. I was running. I was fucking running. I'm surprised I'm not dead from that. Because
no
I
shit.
was
You're
running
not
and I
kidding.
cut through this they were making they were building this I don't know, like projects, like
Right.
the houses that they ship in. You see them late at night
Yeah.
on the back.
On the back of
Yeah,
those
they were
fucking
building
trucks,
those,
yeah.
right? So they had the foundations
Right.
cleared out with the metal spikes sticking out.
Yeah.
And I didn't know they were doing that there, so I cut through the construction site to kind of try to, because the cop car had cut me off, so I cut through, and then the fucking ground just disappeared.
Oh,
and I
God.
fell in the ditch.
No way.
And then I fucking had to dig myself out of the ditch. To what I later found out the next day was all metal spikes sticking
Oh,
out.
my
I don't know how I
God.
missed any of these metal spikes, yo. I'm telling you. God be talking to me, and now I learned how to listen.
So you got
And,
out.
and I got out of there, and I kept running, and then the cigarettes kicked in, and I just fucking passed out, and then the cops got me, and they took me back to where I fell, and they were looking for that gun. They did not find that gun, yo. They did not find that gun. And the cops were so mad. They were so mad. They were like, nah, he got something. He got something. They kept looking. They did not find that fucking gun.
And you had nothing on you.
I had nothing else on me. I was going to give this guy, I was done.
Right.
I was going to give this guy back the piss because it wasn't
Right.
mine. I didn't want to keep it. So I was going to give it back to him. And this whole shit happened. And so
did they let you go?
Yeah, they had to let me go because there was nothing there. And then they said I put the description of somebody that committed a robbery, which I knew was bullshit, so I wasn't worried
that's
about
fucking
that.
bullshit.
And then they said, we got the gun. And I was like, really? I was like, what kind of gun? They was like, what kind of gun you had? I said, I ain't have no gun, but I want to know what kind of gun you planting on me. I know how y'all operate.
Yeah.
And but they didn't find the gun. I went
That's
there the next
awesome.
day. The gun was right there.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yo, I don't know, right where I fell.
Fuck.
Right there. It had just had some mud on it. And they missed it.
That's fucking
Like 10
awesome.
cops missed that shit. And that day was the last
That
day I
was
ever did
it.
anything dumb. And I was like, my friend hooked me up with a job at the MoMA, and that's how I got into comedy.
That's
I met
fucking amazing.
I met a guy at the MoMA.
You gotta fucking write a screenplay.
Yeah, I'm working on it right now.
All right, so here's I just have one quick question as a Jewish girl. Did you ever shoot the gun?
Oh, yeah.
A lot? Did you
Yeah.
ever hit anyone?
No, I never shot at anybody. I had a gun because
Well, you had
at that
to.
time everybody had a gun,
That was
and
like
I wasn't
having a
going to
bike
be caught
in my
out there without a
neighborhood,
gun. And I was hopeful every day that I wouldn't have to shoot anybody. I'm not comfortable with violence like that. Like, you know, I mean, you do what you got to do when you got to do it, but
Right.
just to like hurt that don't, you know.
So you get a job at
It's not-
MoMA.
Yeah.
All right.
At the MoMA, yeah.
Yeah, Museum of
And I
Modern
didn't
Art.
lie, and I lied. I had to lie.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, the cops
And,
lied.
and you
Yeah.
fuck this microphone. So you get a job at MoMA,
Mm-hmm.
and you wait. I have all my notes. I haven't had to check my notes. You
did
organize.
You did research on me.
Oh my
That's
God,
fucking
yes.
hilarious. Oh yeah, I
You
became
organized. You became a state rep, or
I became a union rep for my
union rep.
department. Yeah, I worked in the bookstore and the design store, and the museum was unionized. Like all those workers were unionized,
Right.
And they voted me as their rep because, you know, I guess I was I don't know. They thought,
This guy knows his
you know,
shit.
not
Yeah.
that. I don't know if that would have, because I wasn't afraid of my
Right.
bosses. Like I don't give a shit. You know, I do
Right.
my job. That should be it.
Didn't you lead a walkout or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we let it strike. Yeah,
And
we
it was
kicked their
over
ass, yeah.
salaries.
Well, that's
It was
why,
over
yeah.
everything, salaries, benefits. They wanted us to pay. We weren't making any money. Most people work. There's a thing. Most people work at the MoMA.
Yeah.
Most people work there, love what they do there, man.
Right,
They
'cause they're-
love art. They want to be
right.
a part of that world, and they're making sacrifices to be a part of that world. Because with their skills, if they go other places, they'll make so much more money.
Right.
But a lot of people just want to be in that world. You know, that's
Right.
their passion, and so they make those sacrifices. But then you have rich fucks who run the museum that just constantly want to shit on them. You know what I mean? Like dude, the shit you're asking us to get by on, you will never even attempt to.
Right,
so why
right,
would you
right.
be reasonable? That's all we're asking. Everybody know, like nobody's trying to break the bank. We know where we work,
Right.
but be fucking reasonable.
Right.
And they didn't want to, so we let it strike, and we had to make them be reasonable.
And you won.
And we won. We kicked their ass. Hell yeah, they were so mad.
Yeah, that's good. I love that.
They were
I
so
fucking
mad.
love that. But that must have given you so much.
We defeated the Proskauer Rose LL, whatever the fuck that law firm is. I say it, yes, because you know what? They were so fucking condescending,
Good.
those fucks.
Is that how they introduce themselves?
Yeah.
Well, you know, this is
with
what
a
they
con-
do. They like to bring you up to their offices to intimidate you with their opulence.
Right.
Is that the
Yeah,
right word?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like to.
Great
They like
word.
to. When you get in there, you know, you see the big mahogany
Yeah,
finishing
yeah,
and
yeah.
the huge mahogany
Yeah.
desk. Like this is who you're fucking with. And I'm sitting there with a fucking fleece hoodie on, you know, and they think they're smarter than you.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, they really think they're smarter
Right.
than you. You
Well,
know,
their
but they
culture.
learned. They
Right.
learned.
Good.
Yeah, they had to pay.
So you then meet this guy at Grand Central.
Yeah, I was running a store for the museum at Grand Central Terminal.
Right.
And he was a security
Security
guard
guard.
there, and he was
And he had no teeth.
he was missing his front teeth, and he called himself the Toothless Lover. That was his comedy name.
And what was his thing? What he used to
He's
say?
He used to say, I want to tell the whole tooth and nothing but the tooth. That's what I'm here for. That was his line. That was the funniest thing he had, too. Sorry, Brian. Sorry, Brian.
So that he was doing stand-up? Or
yeah, he was doing stand. No, he was doing it. He was doing it. He was a regular at the Uptown Comedy Club. And
that's up in Harlem.
And that's the first comedian I ever met. I never met. I knew about stand-up. I used to see it on television, but I never... knew anybody that
and you wrote
was even
for him,
close to that
right?
And I would help him write. Yeah.
Right.
No, not him. He had another friend that would come visit him, and that was a comic. And that guy, I would help him write. Like we would, because I was running the store, so half the time I wasn't doing shit. So I would just sit in the corner with him, and I would be like, "Oh, that's funny. What if you do this though?" And he and so I wrote this whole joke with him about something about a Jamaican nanny, how that's gonna. Something I don't remember the exact joke, but it was something about white women hiring these Jamaican nannies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when he did it the first time, it fucking killed. And that was the first time I thought maybe I could do it.
I when I first moved to New York, and I would see.
I thought you were a New Yorker. Where are you from?
I grew up in New Jersey.
Anyway, no, I'm just kidding.
No, but I would see these Jamaican nannies and I'm like, oh, isn't that nice? They adopted a white baby. Like I fucking.
You really thought that?
Yes, I was like so fucking.
You thought
ridiculous.
this country was so awesome, didn't you? When you were younger,
God.
you realized
so
it ain't shit.
Okay, so I know.
I love
stupid.
it, but it ain't shit.
I know. Okay, so you get a spot at Uptown Comedy Club.
Yeah.
And you're standing there, and they call your name, and you fucking leave.
I left, yo. I got so nervous right before the show started.
Yeah.
I got so nervous I left. And I was like, man, I'm not doing this shit. What are you doing? Because I still got that Brooklyn shit in the back of my mind. But I know I want to fucking escape that. But I don't know if this is it. I'm like, fuck that.
And you had your set ready.
I had everything ready. And I just left. I was like, I can't do this.
Okay, so then you go back the next week.
Yeah, I was mad at myself. I couldn't believe that I punked out like that. And so I went back and I said, at least do it. These people don't know you. Like, they'll never see you again. And you just fucking, you get it off your chest. And I did it, and I fucking killed.
You did, and your first joke was about your girlfriend farting on your leg.
Yes, that was my first joke. How you know this shit, Judy?
Do my research.
Who did I ever tell this shit?
That's right, baby. That's why
weird.
people love doing my podcast.
That's fucking weird. How do you know that shit?
So it was the girl farted on my leg, and I was like, hey, you didn't do this when we were...
No, women change when they never fart when you're dating them.
Right.
Yeah, that was my first joke. And if I get killed, I did you had 5 minutes at the New Jack segment. And Tracy Morgan is the first person ever introduced me.
Yeah,
as
so
a comic.
he was the second, because the first guy introduced you and you fucking left. And then Tracy introduced you and he said you were funny.
Yeah.
And there is nothing like that first fucking laugh.
It's nothing like
after that fucking
crack.
Nerves.
It's like crack
right?
hit. That's that crack hit.
Like, yeah. And
that's what I equate it to. It's like that crack, and you chase that shit.
That's what I say. You chase that for the rest of your fucking life, because there's nothing like it.
And then you get like close sometimes. You be like right there. You be like, that was almost there.
Right,
I'm almost there.
Right.
Don't forget to tune in next week to Just Kill Me Now.
It's Just Kill Me.
Oh. Don't forget to turn for part 2 on Just Kill Me.
No, it's not. It's
Just Kill Me.
No.
Judy Gold's Just Kill Me.
Just
Kill Me Now.